Why have I stayed? There's probably a couple moments that stick out for me. One of the things in the early days was, so I was in the store and working with customers, and then my friend Karen, not this Karen, but a friend of mine, Karen, and I decided that we were going to open and close swimming pools. So we were the all-girl opening and closing team for a while. And the patience that Al had to have with my, you've met me, you know my mechanical astuteness and how I just want to flip a switch and I want it to work. The whole troubleshooting, figure it out, not as much fun for me. So Al had a ton of patience to be able to talk me through a lot of those things back in the day. The other thing that I learned when I was on that opening team is where you have a couple of people and one does the heavy lifting and the schlepping and the other one puts the equipment together. Well, Karen, my friend at the time that I was opening pools with, was 50-something. So not only was I the equipment putter together, but I was also the head schlepper of stuff, which was really super fun. We got a little bit of pushback from men and from women, surprisingly, when we would show up to open or close their pools, because they would look at us and they would say, "You can't possibly know anything." And then we would. And somehow, swimming pool knowledge just kind of stuck. And I remember at the time when I was doing the pool openings and working in the office, I had a thought that I could not imagine myself as a pool girl for the rest of my life. It just wasn't going to happen. And I think I had that thought because I didn't see possibilities and I hadn't developed my own certain way. I was trying to work into maybe other certain ways from the industry, or maybe what I felt was the company didn't really have a certain way that you could be into. So fast forward to a handful of years ago where I was at one of our weekly service pools at Dr. And the joke is you always assume that you're on camera when you're vacuuming a pool. And at that time, we kind of thought that somebody like the father or grandfather was living there. He would never answer the door, so you could not get any help. But he knew what was happening because he'd watch out the window. And I remember being out there vacuuming the pool one day because I was the one that had to go out and do it. And I think at that point we had people that were routinely servicing the pools. And I was talking to myself as I was vacuuming the pool, thinking, I wonder what he's thinking about up in that window if he's watching me. Oh, this poor woman who's out here vacuuming a pool. Like, wow, her, life, if she gets to do this every day, like how special could she be? And I just had a fun little quirk inside because he didn't know and nor would he need to. But I was there vacuuming a pool by choice, even though I could have sent somebody else to do it. So that little thin slice of that dialogue in my head was all about perspective, but being in the moment of what you're doing. And I think when Rick was talking about having that love in it, it was just being present in the moment. And oh, what a story somebody could say if he's watching. But I was thoroughly enjoying the moment, vacuuming a pool, content in life. And I don't know that there's much more than that. So that's probably why I'm still a pool girl.